Okay, so I have seen many examples of where Disney seems to reuse whatever stuff, and people put like side by side things of like, hey, this is like the same thing. They like reused the same like motions and stuff, and or they like reused the same model for a character as a different character. Um, and I'm like, I guess it's not too surprising that they may have reused a few things here and there. And like especially back like older movies where, it's drawn and so drawing takes a very long time, especially when you're making a whole ass movie in 2D hand drawn stuff. Like, it takes a lot of time and money and effort for that sort of thing. And, it cost them a lot, so cutting a couple corners here and there, makes sense, especially, Disney wasn't as big as it is now. But nowadays, it's kind of like Disney has a shit ton of money. I don't think they really need to reuse stuff they're reusing. Like people pointed out that like, some characters look a little similar to Rapunzel and yeah, it's kind of like what the heck? And like you can see in like the eyebrows and the face shape and stuff like and the facial expressions. Like I mean obviously, you know, some facial expressions are gonna look pretty similar, but like at the same time, it really seems like they're just taking Rapunzel's model and just like changing it slightly for some characters. And then also there was like so people compared like Elsa to Gogo. I think yeah, I haven't seen uh I haven't seen Big Hero 6 in a while, so I'm kind of like, is that her name? I'm pretty sure, yeah. But like, they look pretty much the same, just slightly different with like different hairstyle and stuff. And it's kind of like, what? And then Rapunzel and Honey Lemon from Big Hero 6, like, they're basically the same character, just slightly different. And then if you look at Moana and Rapunzel, it's just like, you know, they slightly changed her a little bit, gave her darker skin, different hair type, and yeah, they made her slightly bigger and whatever, maybe a little bit shorter, and then it was kind of like whatever. And yeah, I don't know. Even just like some parallels with a couple scenes, it's kind of like, a little like it's kind of like just the same thing. And so, yeah, I'm kind of just like, back when they were doing the hand drawn stuff, I don't really blame them for reusing a certain, like, dance or something. Because, drawing characters dancing can be. I'm sure that's a lot harder than drawing characters normally. So it's kind of like, I don't really blame them for the whole dancing scenes being redone and stuff like that, and especially drawn stuff. But then 3D animation, like, I don't know about, like, obviously making a whole character model from scratch can be kind of hard, so it would be nice to have at least one base model that you can work off of. But you could at least make them look somewhat different, you know? Not have the same face thing going on, because then all your characters are just gonna look the same. And so, yeah, I just like, can you not do that? Can you give characters different faces and stuff and not just keep doing the same thing over and over again? And yeah, in real life, there's a lot of people who can look kind of similar or like have the same face shape and stuff. But like the fact that some of these characters look really close to being the same, it's kind of like, what the heck? you know, it's a little weird. I'm kind of just like, just make them look different, more different than they do already. So then it's not just gonna be the same thing over and over again, especially since Disney has a shit ton of money. They don't need to cut corners or anything, really. Just 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 make a new character model, change it enough to where it's not the same, please. Because then we keep seeing this whole thing here. Like, I get if they were siblings or something, then they could look slightly the same. But, like, many of these characters have nothing to do with each other, so it's kind of just like, why do they look so similar? It's kind of weird. So, like, I guess it's kind of cool looking at the older ones and seeing which things they, like, had to reuse, but then nowadays it's kind of like, you don't need to do that anymore. Disney has a shit ton of money. You don't need to cut corners. Please don't. You don't need to. You're gonna be just fine using just a little bit more money just to slightly change it. But also, I will not be surprised if animators just cut corners because they don't get paid enough for their work, I'm sure. So, that's probably why they keep using the same kind of thing over and over again because they're not getting paid enough. And it's kind of just like, pay your animators so it's not just the same thing over and over again because that's kind of, I'm sure that's why also deadlines and like, oh, we have to get this movie out by this day or this week or month, a year, whatever. And it's kind of just like, them having to cut corners for time reasons too is also another thing. And I'm just like, like, some of the best movies have been in the works for years. Like Puss in Boots: Last Wish, I'm pretty sure that movie was like 5 or more years, I think it was. I don't really remember exactly, but I think that movie was being made for years and years. I think Spider-Verse was also one that was also in the works for years and years. So it's like, those two are some of the best movies of the year that they came out, and so it's just like, just give people time and the resources and everything that they need to make a good movie, you know? That's why, you know. And then they end up looking a bit different too from other movies, and then it just makes it all the more better. So I really hope Disney kind of just moves away from the whole reusing Rapunzel and stuff. Like, I love Rapunzel. Like, ever since Tangled came out in 2010, I've always liked it. And it's kind of just like, you know, I love her character and she looks great and everything, but you don't need to keep reusing her model. It's just kind of sad. I think it's just like, oh, hey, she was their first 3D model character, princess. And so then they were like, let's keep reusing it. It's kind of just like, you don't need to. But yeah, I think if I keep doing this video, I think I'm just gonna end up saying the same thing over and over again, and I don't want to. So yeah, I'm just gonna end the video here. And what do you guys think about this? Do you hope they will move away from the reusing Rapunzel? Hopefully they do. But yeah, anyways, I guess bye then.